I've decided to harvest my soft neck garlic, and I've already pulled a few out, so I'm gonna finish pulling out the rest, and then I'm gonna plant up this bed with probably peppers, something like that. So this is what I got. Not too bad, good size. A little bit bigger than the size of the bulbs that I got at the store, and there's a few small ones in there, a couple of rounds, but I mean, the other garlic that I already have been growing is doing really well and gets really big. But I will save these and plant these again next year because they're acclimated to our conditions here. So I'm sure that when I plant these cloves next year, they'll do even better. And then I'll just keep saving from this pile. So I won't be eating any of these. I'm going to save them to plant again next year, and we'll see what the difference was between this year and next. Because again, this was store-bought garlic that I got from the Mexican market. And it was like a purple colored garlic. It's probably some kind of chestnut or music garlic, something like that. But not bad. I'm pretty happy with the harvest. They weren't really doing well because we have gotten so much rain, like an unusual amount of rain for this time of year. So I just decided to pull them before they start to rot or anything. So it's been a few months since we built the new compost bins, and we've been using it like crazy. So I thought I would give you guys a little peek at what it's looking like now, and it's working pretty well. We've mostly put boxes in here, believe it or not. Boxes and weeds that we pull from the garden or from around the property, and just rotted produce, you know, scraps that we have in our little compost bin inside. And it's working pretty well. The boxes have been breaking down awesome. Like this thing was full of boxes because we live really far out, so we tend to ship stuff to our house a lot, but they broke down pretty well, and it's starting to look more like soil now. This is our first time really turning it or spending much time with it at all, so I'll keep posting updates on this so you guys can see what it looks like when this is broken down a little bit more. So I decided to braid some of this garlic, and I went ahead and removed just about 1 or 2 layers of the tunic, which is the papery skin that's on the outside of the garlic. And I just did this so that I didn't have to wash them with water since I had left them sitting out for a while. If you're going to wash your garlic, you want to make sure you do it right after you pull it. Don't let them dry first. Otherwise, if they dry first, it'll suck some of that moisture into the garlic and cause them to mold. So your best bet is just to wash them right away and then let them dry the rest of the way, or to just leave them out to dry and brush them off, or brush the dirt off with like a dry brush. So once I'm done braiding this, I will hang it up, and I will let this cure for about 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes it cures faster than that, but that's usually the time frame that I like to cure mine before I start to use it. But I'm not going to be using this garlic anyway, so I'm going to just leave it hanging until about early August when I go to plant it again. Braiding the garlic is really easy. You'll just bunch 3 together and then start a braid, and you just add a new piece of garlic to each section, and you do that every pass that you make. If you'd like to see a video on how to braid garlic, like a more detailed video, let me know in the comments, and I will do a video on this when I do my next round of harvesting for this garlic, because I still have some of this garlic to harvest. And then I also can show you guys how to braid hardneck garlic, because believe it or not, you can braid hardneck garlic, and that's pretty easy too. Now I'm just trimming off the roots on the garlic, and I normally wouldn't do this because I actually really like the way it looks with all the scraggly roots on there. But I'm trimming it up just for photographic purposes so you guys can see the color of the garlic, because it is a really pretty color. Also, I wanted to mention that I normally wouldn't braid garlic while the leaves are still green and full of moisture because it can mold. However, I've done this many times and I haven't had any issues with that. But if you're in a really humid area or you're still getting a lot of rain and you're hanging this up outside somewhere, I would wait a week before braiding the garlic, or at least wait until the leaves have dried out a little more. So here's my finished braid, and you can see that they're not very big. There's a lot of rounds in there, which is totally fine. If you get a bunch of rounds, you can still cook with them. They taste exactly the same. But I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm just going to replant these anyway. And I don't normally grow soft neck garlic, so we'll see how they do next year, and I'll make sure to do updates on that as well.
What's up, buddy? Look at these blue-eyed men right here. Looking good, handsome.
I'm not gonna get bit by a vampire now.
We thought we'd give you guys an update on the tomatoes that we've planted so far. You guys have seen these in previous videos, but we do have several more that we need to plant. And last night we had really cold temperatures that dipped down to the 30s, so we ended up covering everything, and I finally took all the bags off the tomatoes. So this is how they're doing. Some of them are growing really, really well, and some of them have struggled a little bit, and we did lose a few to something just ate the entire tops off of our tomatoes. I think it was a rabbit because it had bit into the really thick stems, which was really odd, so that was kind of frustrating. These are the yellow pear tomatoes that we planted in the garden up front, and they look a little bit funky right now because we had bags over them last night when it dipped down real low. And we really need to weed in our garden, you guys. The areas that we haven't laid hay down, like the asparagus and this row here, has a lot of weeds sprouting up. But like I said, it's been raining nonstop, it feels like, for the last couple months. So we're finally going to spend some time tomorrow to weed these beds out and then lay some really thick hay over this area. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.